Well, I'm Jimmy Mathis, and I'm 94 and be 95 December the 20th.
It's a long time, isn't it?
No, it hasn't been very long. I was born here in Hickman County, just up the road. I was born in 1927. In 1937, we moved back up here on the farm. When I was 13 or 14, I started plowing, and plowed barefooted, didn't have shoes. Can you imagine?
No.
Walking all day long, from sunup to sundown, and made a quarter a day. We'd pick every ear by hand, and throw it in the wagon. I used to work hard. I think that's the reason I'm still living. I think so.
I bet working hard you slept good, didn't you?
Oh, yeah. I can't sleep now. I hardly ever go to sleep before 12 or 1 o'clock. Well, we used to swap work. People help you and you'd go help them. Like a hog killing, we would, they'd bring their hog and we'd have a hog killing. Well, we count baby calves and all, and we got about 600. And my 2 boys take care of all that. Daddy bought this farm in 1946. We didn't have a tractor till then, 46. There's a little John Deere. I was going somewhere and I stopped talking to a man. He said, "Well, how you like your little tractor?" It wasn't little to me after. Lloyd Toddy, I don't know whether you ever knew him or not, but he wasn't barefooted till he was grown. One day he showed me he took a match and he could strike it on the bottom of his foot.
And light it? Really?
Yeah, his foot was that tough. I can go up there in the graveyard and look around and I'll know something about most all of them. It'll come to my mind.
Is that right?
It was a little feller, his name was Bally Toddy. And he was walking down the road one night about dark, had a tie on, and the wind blowed it over his shoulder. He thought somebody was hitting him on the back, and he liked to run himself to death.
You and Dalton used to fish? Dalton Yates?
Dalton, yeah.
Yeah.
We put in that Seminole Bridge to go Ship's Bend, and we was going fishing down through there, and the river's up a little. Me and him and Jerry Toddy, well, that motor went dead, and he couldn't start it. Well, that boat started drifting, and it was a tree it laid over, and we went right under that tree. First thing I done, reaching fast my billfold. Well, I wouldn't lose it. And I caught on the limb, went on up the top. Well, Dalton went under it somewhere, and he was down below me, and he was holding on, and he had boots, and they was full of water. He was white as a sheep. He was just about to go under when I got to him. And Jerry Toddy wound up on the other side of the river. And our boat didn't go too far down there, and that motor, I guess, hung something or something. But we got it going, come back home.
Did you catch any fish that day?
No, we lost all of our equipment.
Oh, no.
Lost our reels and everything we had.
What's the first president you remember? Earliest president.
Oh,
you remember?
Roosevelt.
Roosevelt.
I remember when he got elected in 1932. I wasn't hardly 5-year-old. It was a depression days, and he brought us out of a depression. You know, he was elected 4 terms. He only served 3. He died in the 4th one, early in the 4th term. But I remember going up there when Japan bombed Pearl Harbor. That Sunday we all gathered up there at the store. I was just in my early teens, and then the next day Roosevelt declared war on them. And I was at Little Light School the next day. Well, it was a scary time, you know. We had a neighbor down here, Ewell Toddy. They drafted him. I think in 30 days he was already captured over in Africa. He hadn't been in the service just a few days.
What was the first car you ever owned?
I think it was a 46 Chevrolet, I think. And when I got married, we bought a new pickup, and I traded it to my daddy for the pickup. I needed the pickup on the farm, you know. Well, we bought gas for $1/4 gallon for years.
$1/4 gallon.
Yeah. Of course, back then you didn't have a lot of quarters. And gas was rationed back then. They let farmers, they give you gas stamps, and we could get about all we wanted.
Is that right?
Well, me, my other son, his wife, Tim, Amanda, we got about 800 acres here. I think we buy most of our feed and stuff co-op down here. It runs about $600 a day.
Is that right?
Our expenses is a good $1,000 a day right now. Her name was Wilma Orton. We was married a little over 70 years till you go through it, and then it ain't so long. It goes by, and I've known her ever since she was a kid, really.
How did you convince her to start dating you?
Well, she just couldn't resist me, I think. I kidded about it. We went down to Mississippi and got married. That's what people done back then. They didn't have to take a blood test or do nothing else. And that's all they know to do. I don't know, but if she got mad, she never failed to fix my supper. She always had a meal. It don't matter how sick she was, she'd have us a meal.
Is that right?
Well, it's about a few years later before Gary was born, and then Tim was born 5 years later than that. You know, James, he's manager of the co-op down here, my grandson.
Right.
I don't know where you know what Amanda does or not. She's CFO of Bridgestone, and she's over North and South America. They call me Big Paw.
Big Paw, okay.
Them great-grandkids. That, the oldest one, when he was about 1.5 or 2 years old, he'd give the whole family a name so he could know everybody. Granddaddy's Paul, and he called me Big Paw. And that's what they call me,
They do, yeah.
That's neat.
Big Paw.
Big Paul.
We get letters all the time. People wanting to buy land, and them great grandkids see one of them, they tear it up. They love the farm.
When Mom got sick with her cancer, she didn't miss a lot of work, did she?
No,
She
she
was working
would-
here at home.
she would go take treatments, and it'd make her so sick, but she'd come back and go to work. 2021, it was 70 years,
Wow, that's
a
all.
little bit over, yeah. Went by pretty fast, so. Well, that's sort of the tip of it. I've been through a lot over the years.
You have.